This is one of my absolute favorite ingredients for health as well as flavorful properties. It is extra virgin olive oil. It has evidence to show that it can reduce the risk of dementia-related deaths by up to a third. There was a recent paper that came out about that. It is heart healthy. It is packed full of polyphenols that lower inflammation and can improve the well-being of your cardiovascular system. Plus, it also has brain benefits as well. It is quite possibly one of the best foods that you can invest in every single day. And I'm going to teach you how to choose the best types of extra virgin olive oils, how to source them, and how to use them every day in your cooking as well. In addition to all those benefits to your heart and brain, the highest levels of olive oil consumption was associated with the lowest risks of all different types of cancers as well, by around 30%. So it is pretty incredible. And you might be asking yourself, how on earth can such a simple, readily available product potentially have all these benefits? Now, there's lots of discussion as to why. When you look at the chemical composition of extra virgin olive oil, it is largely fats, but these are monounsaturated fatty acids. So these are the types that are traditionally thought to be super heart healthy. But also when you fractionate these and you look at them and the chemicals, they've actually got tons of what we call polyphenols. So polyphenols are specialized types of plant chemicals that have wonderful different benefits. And there are some unique different polyphenols that you find in extra virgin olive oil. We've looked at a number of different polyphenols on the podcast on YouTube before, and there are literally thousands of them. But the ones that we find in extra virgin olive oil include oleopiene, oleocanthal, and something called hydroxytyrosol. I had to look at what the spelling of that was, but hydroxytyrosol. And these give the pungency, the bitterness when you taste olive oil fresh, and it gives you that almost like cough reflex as well. It is super powerful stuff, and these are potentially the reasons why we see the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits that could potentially explain brain health benefits, heart health benefits, and cancer benefits as well. Now, when you're looking at extra virgin olive oil, it can be quite confusing because they all kind of look the same. They kind of, taste the same when you've looked at them. Actually, when you do a tasting that we have done on the YouTube channel, they are wildly different. And I was really, really surprised. And there were a few things that you should be looking for when you're in the supermarkets to figure out which one is going to have the biggest bang for your buck, the most polyphenols, and therefore potentially the most benefits as well. I'll pull up on the screen right now some of the potential reasons as to why you have these benefits with extra virgin olive oil. And as you're looking at that, I'm going to explain how to choose the best qualities. The first thing you want to be looking for is it should clearly say on the label, extra virgin olive oil. Now, we spoke with Dr. Simon Poole on the podcast before about the different types and cold pressing, mechanical processing. Do these actually mean anything? Unfortunately, these aren't protected terms. However, the process is definitely standard for extra virgin olive oil. So it has to be processed at low temperatures, so not high heat extraction, which is how you find most seed oils extracted. And unfortunately, that might damage the quality of those different types of plant chemicals as well. But you want to be looking for extra virgin, it should say mechanically processed at cold temperatures. So this is not heat extracted. That preserves a lot of those polyphenols that we were just talking about as well. The other thing that you want to be looking for is something that says early harvest, or at least harvest date. So something that is harvested within the last 12 months is going to give you more bang for your buck, essentially. Another word that you might find to describe that is the manufacturing date. Now, when you harvest an olive oil, so it's pressed and it's barreled, it will have a general degradation. So from the moment you press it and bottle it, it will have a shelf life, which can be years. But the polyphenols will generally degrade over time. So you want something that's generally in the last 12 months or so. And good manufacturers will say early harvest or the exact harvest date. Another reason for early harvest is these typically are the olives that have the most of those polyphenols as well. So when looking at them head to head, there is a higher quantity of those polyphenols. So again, you're getting more bang for your buck as well. And it definitely affects the flavor profile. It doesn't talk about the method and the mechanical process on the bottle because they might have like a cool bottle and it might not have as much space as they need to describe the exact process. Go on the website for these manufacturers and they should state their process and how they extract it. And they should also talk about traceability. So whether this is a blend of multiple oils from different regions and countries, or whether it is from a single estate or at least the same country. The big manufacturers of olive oil, so people like Filippo Berio, for example, in Europe, they will blend multiple oils into one product because they have huge distribution. They're operating at mass scale, so they need to have all these different olives from different countries to preserve the supply chain. But for the smaller varieties, they can afford to go to smaller manufacturers and have the concentrate from just one particular region. And you want that because that's going to preserve, again, the polyphenols, it's going to reduce the handling, and you're going to get a better tasting product as well. So look for traceability, make sure you're getting the single variety from a single country. Now, there are lots of different producers of olives that are doing great stuff. So whether you're getting it from Turkey or Palestine or from Australia, Portugal, Greece, obviously, they all have really good quality olives. So I wouldn't be sniffy of the actual countries, but I would be looking for a single origin because that's how you're going to guarantee you're getting the best polyphenols and the best quality olives as well. Another thing that good manufacturers will do is they will state the polyphenol count per kilogram. So polyphenols, like we've just talked about, the oleocanthols, the hydroxytyrosols, the oleopenes, they all have a collective number. And so you'll be looking for total polyphenols, which is measured in milligrams per kilogram of olive oil. So typically 100 mils of olive oil will have around 50 milligrams or 25 to 50 milligrams of polyphenols. A good manufacturer will have lab tested their olive oil for the number of polyphenols in per kilogram. So to give you an example, this olive oil, which isn't actually available just yet, but it is from a good friend of the pods, Dr. Simon Paul, he has on their bottle, if I can find it, they've stated on the bottle the number of polyphenols per kilogram. And in this case, it is 322 milligrams per kilogram of olive oil. Now that meets the threshold for it having a heart-healthy claim. So the European standards or the EFSA scientific opinion reference, olive oil polyphenols contribute to the protection of blood lipids from oxidative stress. You need to have a polyphenol count of at least 250 milligrams per kilogram to enable you to put that claim on your bottle. So good manufacturers that have lab tested and are above that 250 milligram threshold will proudly put it on their bottle. And that shows you that A, they've gone through the extra effort, and B, this is generally one of those olive oil products that could potentially have those benefits to brain health, heart health, and even cancer as well. So look for the total polyphenol count on the bottle.
Just a quick one. If you're enjoying this content, you will love my mini series on inflammation. I go through the different types of foods that you should be having, what inflammation actually is, plus lifestyle practices to reduce inflammation. You can get it for free right now in the link in the caption below. Back to the podcast.
The best way to tell that you're getting the best quality product is simply to taste it. So if you go to farmers markets or supermarkets, sometimes have tastings as well. Taste the product. We've done a tasting again with Dr. Simon Paul, and you're looking for floral notes. You can get sweetness as well, depending on where you're getting it from. But you will get an overarching sort of flavor of pungency and a bitterness that hits you right at the back of the throat that elicits sometimes a cough reflex. So this one I've left out for a little while, but that's okay. It's from Two Fields, which is a regenerative farm. They use superior category olives from Greece. I think this is from, I don't know where this is actually from, but it's a social regenerative project as well. So they're supporting regenerative farms. And what I'm looking for and trying to taste for is that the rich collection of those different polyphenols that you have. So It tastes buttery at the start, and then 5 seconds in, there's a wealth of pepperiness that completely engulfs my mouth and then moves to the back of my mouth as like 10, 15 seconds. And now I can feel that slight tickle at the back of my throat. That's a good olive oil. You know straight away that is a great olive oil. Perfect for dipping, perfect for drizzling on salads as well. This sort of brings everything together. And if you're going to be having this with things like garlic and onion, they actually increase the polyphenol effect. They actually increase the anti-inflammatory effect as well. There is a synergism between all these different polyphenol-rich products. So that's how you can definitely tell that the extra virgin olive oil is of good quality. And if you do this with a mass-produced extra virgin olive oil that typically is less than 10 pounds a bottle, or to put it in US measures, around $13 to $14 a bottle, you're not going to get that complexity of flavor. You're going to get very, very flat notes. The other thing we got asked about a lot is whether you can cook with extra virgin olive oil. And the answer is a resounding absolutely yes. So low to medium heat cooking with good quality extra virgin olive oil is completely fine. You should be able to saute your garlic, onions, your tomatoes in it. It is a very stable product. Because of those antioxidants, it's actually going to protect your ingredients, whether it's fish, meat, or vegetables, from the products of combustion that you have whenever you cook anything. So this is absolutely stable and absolutely recommended for cooking with as well. For anything super high, above 200 degrees centigrade or deep frying, you probably don't want to waste your good quality, expensive extra virgin olive oil on that, because you will completely destroy the polyphenols. And if you're going to do high temperature cooking, you might as well just use any bog standard oil. That's totally fine. And just reserve that as a luxury item. The longer you cook with extra virgin olive oil for, the less products you're going to get at the end as well. So if you're cooking for longer than 20 minutes, sometimes recipes require that kind of cooking, then you're going to reduce the amount of polyphenols in. And then to preserve the sort of benefits of that, just have a drizzle at the end. That's totally fine. Use less in the cooking and more to drizzle with. That's another way of preserving those polyphenols and making sure that you're maximizing the benefits as well. So my advice to you is to get at least a couple of tablespoons of good quality extra virgin olive oil in. The studies that we looked at suggested that a minimum of 7 grams per day had potential benefits for protecting it against dementia-related deaths. And across the other studies, it tends to be around 10 grams as well. So that's less than a tablespoon. But the more, as in the highest levels of consumption of extra virgin olive oil, you're potentially getting those benefits for cancer prevention as well and reducing the risks of that. So try and get a drizzle of good quality extra virgin olive oil on your food every single day, and definitely cook with it too.
If you love that episode, you'll love this one where I do a deep dive into honey and the benefits of honey, what to look for in good quality honey, and whether honey is actually worth the money.